Lesson 15. Religious Institution. Introduction. A scientific study of religion and its growth in societies will help us to understand the nature of social life. Such a study will reveal the interrelatedness of social institutions in society. Practically all aspects of our social life is influenced and pervaded by religion of late because of its dominance in society. A new branch of sociology, that is, sociology of religion, is not rapidly developing. The nature and social importance of religion. Religion has always embraced in the past man's interpretation of the nature of the supernatural world. It includes the efforts of man to avail himself of the benefits of the supernatural powers and to ward off the evil influences of the supernatural beings. In other words, religion has, so far, been man's effort to adjust himself to all the supernatural world in such a manner as to secure maximum benefits and to minimize disasters. Religion has also exerted a tremendous influence upon other institutions. Religion and morals have always been closely interrelated. Moral conduct has been designed to please the gods rather than to serve man directly and efficiently. Religion has been influencing the economic life of the people for many thousands of years. Economic institutions and practices were believed to be favored by the god. He also believed that he had to placate the goods to be successful in his economic efforts. Religious dogmas have controlled economic activities and systems from primitive times to our own. Politics and government were long based upon religion. The priests blessed and approved existing forms of government. Kings were supposed to rule through the will of gods. They were themselves regarded as semi-divine. In our own day, we confer a sort of divine sanction upon our institutions. Revolution, political radicalism, and social change have usually been cursed by the custodians of religion. Education has been in the hands of the priests. Even in our day, there are a great many religious schools, and religious education is still a predominant item in modern instructions. Art has developed as a phase of religious mythology. Early literature was chiefly religious. The most popular books of all history have been sacred literature of the great religious system. Religion has given color to all of the great stages of cultural evolution. Definition. Religion has been defined as that dynamic belief in the submission to God or to gods, on whom man feels dependent. The internal aspect of religion is the body of ideas, convictions, and emotions concerning man's relations to God, while its external aspects are the system of prayers, ceremonies. The institution concerned with the regulation of these external practices is a religious institution which in modern times is called the temple, church or mosque. A definition based on the characteristics of all religions. Religion is attitude towards the superhuman powers. These attitudes are varied as found in worship, devotion, love, fear, etc. The superhuman powers, which are believed in, may be a supreme god, various creatures, good or evil spirit, force or a purpose. Religious festivals and ceremonies. Temples. Once in a year people gather. In such a social gathering we find a feeling of unity among people. The Hindus worship different gods. They believe different deities that rule different aspects of life. Therefore, there are different festivals for various deities. Not only festivals promote unity but also they give pleasure, recreation. Religious tolerance is fostered by music, dance and drama and katha kalakshepam. People here understand the great virtues taught by religion. Thus it acts as a recreational institution. Forms of religion. Monotheism. If the object of religion is a personal god, as in some branches of Hinduism, Christianity and Islam, that religion is called monotheistic. Polytheism. If it admits many gods, it is called polytheistic. Pantheism or monism. When no essential distinction is made between God and other things so that every object is a part of the same divine or absolute, then the religion is called pantheism or monism. This monism should in no way be mistaken with monotheism. The formula of monotheism is, there is only one God, the other things are his creatures. Whereas the formula of monism is, everything is God, all things are part of him. Religion. Religion as we have defined it is hardly to be found alone in any society, especially among preliterate people or early civilizations. It is usually found associated with such phenomena as superstition, animism, fetishism, and magic. Superstition. Superstition is the conviction that something will happen owing to cause utterly disproportionate to the event, as for instance the belief that business transacted on Friday will be unsuccessful because it is an unlucky day, or number 13 believed to be unlucky, or that seeing ox as the first object of the day will bring success. Animism. It is the belief in the soul. It also refers to the belief in the spirits of the dead that are supposed to be dwelling in certain places or things and have a life of their own, so that they can communicate with men. When the spirits are not supposed to be those of dead men, but have their own nature, inhabiting trees, plants, lakes and animating them, it is called animation. Fetishism. It refers to an object called fetish. It is often associated with magic. According to this belief, certain objects are regarded to be possessed of powers to help man out of various difficulties. It may even help him to achieve his desires. It may be a stone, shell, skull, an amulet or a feather. The fetish is adored or insulted according as to whether it fulfills or does not fulfill its possessor's wishes. This power is called mana, but sometimes it may decrease or desert the fetish. Totem. Totemism is associated with a form of supernaturalism. It is usually an object towards which they behave in a special manner by taking its name. The object may be an animal or a planet. Killing or eating a totemic object is a taboo. It should not be sacrificed. It is mostly a social phenomenon often combined with superstition and magical practice. Magic. Magic is a system of manipulation by which an effect is sought through the action of unseen powers and regardless of physical causality. Magic is imbued with the mystery of the world. It involves force. The function of a magician and a priest are often combined in one person. The technique of both magic as well as religion is ritualistic. Social functions of religion. Religion has been a powerful agency of social control and performed many important social functions, of which the main are following. 1. Social service through religion. Religion manifested itself in man's social tendency. Finding the presence of God in every individual, the devotees sacrifice their life for the divine power, who is inherent in the society. Many saints light the wounds of the lepers because God is manifested in the form of a leper. That is why they served the poor to get bliss. In the Gita, the worshipper of God has been ordered to engage in the service of all living beings. Love and service are given considerable importance in the Christian religion. Christ served the poor throughout his life, which culminated in his fructification. Islamic religion has promoted the tendency of brotherhood. Buddhism has preached non-violence, compassion and sympathy. Likewise, in tribal religions, the people who have the same totem as object of worship were well organized. That is, it fostered a feeling of unity among them. Thus it helps to maintain a stable social order. Religion has always generated sense of belonging in society. Religion and education. Religion has served mankind through education. In almost all countries in the world, the spread of education has an important place in all religions, campaigns, and activities of religious institutions. The custodians of the church, mosque, temple, and monasteries have long been engaged in spreading education. Religion also gave much encouragement to higher education, for example, Nalanda and Takshila. Men of different communities made serious efforts to diffuse education among the members of their community. Religion and benevolence. There has been a tradition of medical service in society in the name of religion. The reason for this kind of medical service is that the religious person treats helpless and the sick as a part of his worship. An important aspect of the daily life of saints in service. Religion and almsgiving. Religion is accompanied by almsgiving. The great religions of the world such as Hinduism, Christianity, Buddhism and Islam have accepted the importance and value of almsgiving. In Hindu religion, an individual who consumes without giving alms is thieving. In Islam, it is a religious institution to give a part of income as alms. The purpose of charity is to help the poor members of society. It prevents inequality in society and maintains the balance. Even today, one comes across people engaged in such activities as distributing clothes. A few go to the extent of giving everything in the name of religion. Religion and forbearance. All religions have stressed the importance of sacrifice and forbearance. Jesus Christ said that if a person begs you for your cloth, give him your coat as well, and if slaps on one cheek, show the other. This religious tolerance is in evidence from Christ to Gandhi. Tolerance as a social virtue will promote understanding among groups and remove group conflict. Thus, religion helps social progress. Religion and non-violence. The founders of the world's great religions have preached love and non-violence. Jains and Buddhists treat non-violence as the supreme deity. Muhammad himself suffered many kinds of cruelty. So also Christ and Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi followed the two cardinal principles, namely truth and non-violence, to free India. Religion also fosters the sense of world brotherhood. To a saint, everyone has been made by God and all worship Him in different forms and names. Thus religion generates a sense of the world as a family. Christ, Gandhi, Buddha, Muhammad, not to mention other religious sages, have all preached world brotherhood. Religion teaches the lesson and sacrifices, serving, removing selfishness and material tendencies. Gandhi, in God. Gandhi described religion as a force that keeps one true in the face of the greatest adversity. It is the sheet anchor of one's hopes in this world and even after. It binds one to one's God, to truth, as to nothing else. According to Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, human mature finds its fulfillment in God. Religion manifests itself in society in many ways. It shapes domestic, economic and political institutions as much as, or more than they would. The influence of religion becomes also manifest in certain movements as the rise of capitalism as well as the life of culture. So much so, the writers like Arnold J. Toynbee believe that religion is the central element in the life of civilization whose very existence is endangered when religion fails. And its decline in modern times may be regarded as the supreme danger to the spiritual, social health and even to the material existence of the Western body social. Great revolutionaries and social reform movements were also inspired and influenced by religion. All this tends to show that the characteristic social role of religion, namely the love and service of man for the love and glory of God, is an all-pervading force which affects society in a multiplicity of ways. Evils of religion. But all these good activities, in the name of religion in society, do not imply that immoral acts have not been done under a religious pretext. Society has also been harmed as it had been assisted by religion, and consequently some people want to eradicate religion from society. We shall now consider the evils and undesirable trends in society that are associated with religion. Dogmatism. Religions have been the basis of dogmatism. Religious people do not have the courage to break ancient traditions and customs because they are afraid of God and the next world. Thus it has become the most serious obstacle to widow remarriage and to the abolition of child marriage and custom of sati. Religion has handicapped social progress. Exploitation. We find in the history of mankind, women have been mercilessly exploited in the name of religion. The priests have taken away their rights and made her the slave of man. The principle and beliefs in karma prevented the poor and injured from revolting against exploitation. Laziness and fatalism. Religion encouraged the belief in fate, and people became addicted to laziness. Even today, thousands of men in different religions live a parasitic life. They are a burden to society. Violence and war. Bloody wars have been fought for centuries both in the East and West on religious grounds, called the Holy Wars, for example, the Crusades. Many men were burnt alive in the name of religion. Religious fanatics treated the members of other religions cruelly in the name of religion. despise and hatred. It breeds contempt and hatred for other religious groups. In this way is created group conflict and communal riots in our country. For example, in the Hindu-Muslim communal riots, hundreds of persons died and lost their valuable and property. The inhuman activities such as beating, whipping, severing the breast of women, throwing children into the fire, and turning out people from their countries can also be heard and seen. As a consequence of this, people are compelled to roam and beg. Therefore, many begin to doubt the utility of religion in society. It has not contributed anything new to the life of an individual. It has always been a destructive force in the history of mankind. It has been definitely a conservative force. It inhibits the freedom of thought and action. It is an institution which exists for the sole benefit of the priests. It is a deliberate creation of the priest. It encourages secularism. Therefore, people begin to doubt God whose very existence has not been proved. Morality and religion, the moral code. The nation of morality, morality and religion are usually recognized not only among the most influential forces of social control, but also among the most effective guides of human behavior. Justice, honesty, fairness, incorruptibility, right and freedom, mercy, etc. are purely moral concepts. They possess a great driving force. They are connected in the human mind. They are also found in religious and social convictions. They are quite capable of changing the course of society. There is hardly any political and social movement on which some of their values are not at play. The term morality or the moral code is sometimes taken from those rules of behavior which are accepted in a community. In this sense, it is equivalent to the mores of the society. It is purely social and coincides with custom, fashion, and convention. Its sanction comes also from society and is as manifold as other social ways. In a more accurate sense, the moral code is that body of rule of principles concerned with good and evil, as manifested to us by conscience. Religion and morality. Religion and morality formulate laws of conduct in society like abstention from theft, acting honestly, etc. These laws are obeyed by internal urges or pressure. In religion, this internal pressure is the fear of God, and in morality it is the pressure of conscience. Differences between religion and morality. To be religious is not a duty. Religion is instinctive. The forms of religion change, but it is spontaneous and dominated by emotions. One important difference is that morality does not require any external sanction. Its sanction is internal. The violation of its laws is treated as wrong, whereas the violation of the laws of religion is sin. Some supernatural force is accredited with the formulation of these religious laws. To them are attached the notions of heaven and hell. It is believed that the individual guilty of violating them suffers numerous cruelties. Religious laws exercise indirect control over social relations because of their foundation in the fear of a super-social power. On the other hand, moral laws are based on inner conscience. Moral laws are based on national judgment, while religion is predominantly emotional judgment and non-rational. the moral code and the social code. Many scholars try to identify the moral code and the social code by reducing thereby the moral code to a phenomenon similar to custom convention or the mores. In this view, things would be good or bad if they are so considered by society or public opinion. Men distinguish between the breach of social convention and that of the moral code. The shame that we have when we know that we have broken a rule of etiquette in a social gathering is different from the feeling that one has after having spoiled a friend's character or forged a signature. The breaking of moral conventions brings about dissatisfaction, whereas the breaking of social conventions may sometimes produce mirth and satisfaction. We do not respect a moral rule because it has become socialized, but we respect social rules when they become moralized. The different way in which we submit to a just and unjust law, to a purely social custom or an ethical practice shows the difference between the two. The sanction of the social code is more external and material, while that of the moral code is internal and spiritual. Human institutions and conventions are mainly the ways in which the moral convictions of mankind are carried into practice. While the ways and institutions change, the fundamental principles of the moral code remain the same. The social role of morality. Though morality is distinct from sociality, it is very much concerned with sociality. Sociality in itself is morally natural concept and may point out very little about the desirability of certain situations where sociality is involved. Thieves may be very social individuals, but they are far from being sociable. Their capacity to cooperate towards the happiness of social life from the region of practical into the sphere of love and hope. It is the synthesis of social and moral values which communicates to social life its dynamic elements. Morality is not only concerned with social life but extends also to a wide range of objects outside it. The most intimate acts of individual, his ideas and feelings, his aspirations in life and philosophy of action, his relations with the natural and supernatural, all this and much more fall within the ambit of morality. Thus this covers the whole of the conscious life of man and is therefore more inclusive than sociality. Then individual's morality begins and ends as group morality, but at the same time it remains potentially universal. It is this potential universality of man's morality that offers solid hopes for a better future. The increasing command of man over nature has placed at his disposal material power which may equally be used for his welfare or for his annihilation. It is at this juncture where the moral resources of mankind are most needed in order to direct this power to the service of man. Science in itself is incapable of indicating the proper use of the physical power that itself has made available. It is only a highly refined sense of duty towards mankind that is capable of controlling this energy and addressing it, not only towards the enrichment of his moral, artistic and intellectual life whose full perfection can only be attained in a supernatural state. Summary. Religion has also exerted a tremendous influence upon other institutions. Religion and morals have always been closely interrelated. Religion is attitude towards the superhuman powers. All religions have stressed the importance of sacrifice and forbearance. Religion and morality formulate laws of conduct in society like abstention from theft, acting honestly, etc. The term morality or the moral code is sometimes taken for these rules of behavior which are accepted in a community. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe and share.